Hey everybody, welcome to Big Dumb Monsters. I'm Nick.
And I am Chris.
And this week we are talking about Monster Squad, the Goonies meets Universal Horror kind of mashup movie.
Not necessarily Universal Horror.
No.
Universal Horror adjacent inspired monsters.
Yeah. Licensing issues, maybe?
Legally distinct monsters.
Yeah. Good movie though. We'll get into it.
Yeah, it's movie comfort food. Beyond that, you're not going to get much nutrition out of it.
No. There's not a whole lot of vitamins in popcorn.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Enjoy the show.
This week we are talking about the Monster Squad. Brief synopsis of it is
The Goonies meet the Universal Monsters.
Yeah, the Goonies with monsters. That's one of the. I mean, I this movie is like god tier status of like Saturday afternoon movies for me.
Is it really?
It is. Yeah. This was like this was always on Saturday afternoons for some reason. I watched it quite frequently.
You know what's fucked up, man, is like so for our generation, this movie has like you're saying, like god tier like reputation and status.
Yeah.
This is maybe the third time I've seen it in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I on this watch through, I really it really hit home on how little of a story there is to the movie.
Yeah.
There really is just monsters show up and then like kids kind of react to it.
Yeah.
There's a very like thinly defined plan that Dracula kind of has. Like we know he needs to get this amulet to open a doorway to evil. Oh, to change the balance.
No. So Dracula wants to destroy the amulet at midnight, and the amulet is used, or the talisman, or whatever they call it. It's used to open limbo, like a portal to limbo, to suck in the evil, or
suck in the evil,
or it can be destroyed at the same time, which would let evil reign over the world instead of good.
Mm-hmm. And that's really it as far as the story.
That's kind of it. And the only other thing that happens is like, middle school kid shenanigans.
Yeah. It's very cool. It's like an hour and 20 minutes or so. It's just boom, boom, boom. Like, we find it starts with, there's these kids who love monsters. Boom, there are monsters. Boom, they confront the monsters, and then the movie's over.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they have like a little bit of like interaction with them in between, but not really a whole lot.
No. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's hard to really describe the movie because like it's very blank. Like it's very generic kind of the story. Yeah. It's fun. Like I can't take anything away from it for its like fun factor.
Yeah.
Because like, there's your classic like kids movie thing going on, which is fine. And then you add that twist of Universal Monsters, which we'll get into that later. Why they're not technically Universal Monsters. But that's just another layer of fun. So it's like 13 candles, maybe.
I was thinking this is a very good not introductory horror movie. I think this is a very good step 2.
Yes.
Like if you have a kid who's like into monsters, maybe like start them off on like the Munsters or something easy, something fun. And then when they're ready to get into something a little bit like heavier, a little bit darker, maybe spring this on them, I would say.
Yeah, I kind of made a mistake with this one.
Oh, you went right to it with your kids?
Well, I mean, they've seen horror movies and shit like that, but like I was sitting down with my 7-year-old. I was like, "Hey, just come watch the Monster Squad with me." He's like, "Yeah, but it looks scary." I said, "Well, it's made for kids, because it's a PG-13 movie, whatever."
Yeah.
I figure, 80s PG-13 movie starring a bunch of kids. It can't be that bad. Within the first 20 minutes of the movie, you hear the word faggot at least 4 times.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
come
definitely
on.
a movie of its time, like the early mid '80s. Like,
yeah,
there's some slang that's not going to be used today, like that one, specifically.
it's pretty harsh. And aside from that, there's really not that much that like a smaller kid can't handle.
Yeah,
I mean the gore is kept to a minimum.
yeah, I don't think there's any blood. Like
there's some. There's some when they shoot when they start like killing the monsters at the end.
Yeah,
there's some gore.
Yeah, you see the gill man's chest like blown open, basically.
Yeah, when they fucking dynamite the wolf man.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
And the one cop's partner.
Yeah. But I mean, if you go in and you're watching this movie with your kids, those scenes with the older brother from the Wonder Years come up, and you just got to go like, hey, you're not allowed to use that language.
Yeah.
And then you should be fine for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It's probably a little scary for a smaller kid, but I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a good introduction, it's a good step 2, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because like my kids like the Addams Family and things like that. Like that's where I started them with. Actually, that's a lie. My oldest, we started with Nightmare on Elm Street. That maybe might have been a misstep on my part.
I saw that in the 6th grade, I think in 1987 maybe, or 86, around there.
Yeah.
I was definitely way too young to see that movie.
No, he was younger than that. Like this was before my youngest was born, so he might have been like 5.
Oh, wow, yeah. No, that one definitely gave me nightmares for a while.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I started like real young on horror, so I just assume that everybody can handle it, and apparently that's not the case.
Yeah.
And he was fine watching the movie, but then my wife was like, that's going to give him nightmares.
He's fine.
Which planted the seed, I think, for him.
Yeah.
Because that night he was like, I'm having nightmares.
Fuck.
Shit. I got to fucking deal with this now. What is this? Oh, the consequences of my actions.
Shit.
Fuck. But yeah, that's how that goes. I mean, yeah, I am with you. Like, this is a good step 2.
Yeah.
Like, if you're slowly bringing horror to the family, this is like if your kids are maybe 10 or older.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's rated PG 13, so take that for what it's worth.
I was thinking specifically like 10. Like, would I show this to my nephew right now? He just turned 6. And I'm like, definitely not. Like, definitely a couple more years. I think 10 would be the good age. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, even as an adult watching this, I can see the fun in it.
Yeah.
Like I can see the cheekiness, the campiness. And the kind of like kid/teen drama aspect of it. Well, there's not too much because the plot is kind of weak.
Yeah.
But like I can get behind like a kid watching this and like seeing themselves as one of these kids.
Yeah, like,
especially if they love monsters.
I was gonna say Sean is a very relatable character. Like he loves movies, like he wants to go to the movies, like hang out with his friends. Like that was definitely like that was that kid. Like yeah. Oh man.
And shockingly, they add like some family drama to it, which was pretty cool. Like you see like because the dad is the cop, and
and like him and the mom have the strained relationship, and they're in counsel,
which I think is another thing that like some kids can definitely relate to. I mean, my parents didn't go to counseling or anything, but I've definitely seen dishes thrown across the room. So that's that. But yeah, like you see like the family dealing with their stress and him being a cop and having to be away from the family and stuff like that. I
think it also just hammers home that like these monsters are like his escape from all that too. Like this is supposed to be his comfort area, and like oh fuck, now I'm dealing with real monsters.
Yeah, it was like when he's talking to his dad, he's like, I just want to go see a stupid movie with my friends.
Yeah,
like that is so relatable to a lot of people, and this movie might not get enough credit for that kind of aspect, like that viewpoint that they're giving. It's because it's like it's a kid's monster movie. Well, it is that. But I think it adds that extra layer of the family dynamic and what a kid has to like deal with from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, it's more than a kid's monster movie. It's an ode to the people who grew up as those kids, like monster kids. Like,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Like you and I.
Yeah. I really wish we got a little more, because like they explain Dracula and Frankenstein showing up, like that's pretty explainable. They're on a plane, shit goes wrong on the plane, and the cargo drops out.
Yep.
And it just happens to drop in this town. But then all of a sudden there's a wolf man and a fucking mummy and a gill man. Like, well, was the gill man just always living in the middle of fucking like Illinois or whatever? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, did Dracula like summon these people there? Like, is it just coincidence that like this drifter who's a wolf man is passing through, and like there's an Egyptian exhibit like at this museum? Like, I wanted a little bit more to like the plan. What was Dracula like really up to?
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. Like, there needed to be more, like, not even a lot, just a little more explanation.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if, like, excuse me, Jesus Christ. If they're just, like, dropping these guys in because it's like, well, this movie's kind of targeted toward kids, they're not really going to give a shit about backstory. Like, if that's the case, or if it's like they just didn't care.
Yeah, like,
and
there's just like, we got to use. There's fucking monsters there.
Like, we've got a budgetary limit.
Yeah,
we're kind of at the end here. Here's just what it is. I mean, that could be the case, but I gotta tell you, man, like some of the special effects in this movie were so good because Stan Winston was the man behind this movie.
Yeah, I particularly the Gill Man, I think, is like the best like on screen.
Gill Man was great.
Yeah, like an incarnation of that character.
Mummy looked awesome.
Yeah.
Wolfman, not so much.
Yep, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah. The face of the Wolfman
was like, bad.
Yeah, it's completely static. It doesn't really move.
It just looked like a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, Gill Man kind of looked like a mask too, but like it was a cool one.
But it moved, like it was expressive. Like, like and like the rest of the Wolfman suit was cool too. Like it's just he's muscular and he's just hairy, and then like you get this face and like his head moves from side to side, and that's about it. Like it never changes expression. Like it's just like very fucking like stiff and
it's basically if you bought a Wolfman mask and put it on a Stan Winston wolf body.
Yeah,
this is kind of what it looked like. And there, like, I don't want to take away from like the work because, like, that first transformation scene where you see like the air bladders moving in the hands and stuff like that. That was really cool.
Yeah, we actually just saw it. He's in the ambulance, like his feet bust through the shoe.
Yeah, there's really cool shit in the movie, but like there were some hiccups. I'm loath to say, I think, because like overall, like this movie's really enjoyable. Like it's definitely a popcorn movie.
Yeah,
like there's nothing deep about it aside from like the family issues and things like that.
The Wolfman scene. Just look at that fucking face. Like the mouth opens and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But that mummy was fucking cool.
So good.
God damn. I loved the where they killed the mummy.
Yeah, they just kind of unwrap him on the car. Like,
yeah. It's just that looked badass because you're watching it unravel, but it's like I don't know.
He's still moving as he's unraveling.
Yeah, like the leg was flapping around as it was unraveling. It was fucking great, man.
Like I definitely want more monsters, like more, because like when they do fight the monsters, it's always one-on-one. Like I want to see them have to like attack, like get attacked by like the Wolfman and the fucking creature from the Black Lagoon. At the same time.
I did love that they were able to turn Frank though.
Yeah.
Like they were able to pull him to their side using the little girl. Because they made friends, because it was like an homage to the original.
Yeah.
Which is fucking just, ugh.
Oh, there's that creature when he first bursts out of the water.
Like, he's so fucking cool looking.
Yeah.
God damn.
Like they went all out on the fucking creature, and then like...
And Frankenstein looked fucking great, too.
Yeah, and then like they got 75% through the Wolfman. Like, oh, man.
I mean, you can't
I'm
really
tired.
Stan was done with werewolves at this point, I think.
Oh, fuck it, that's the head.
Somebody else could do this.
Yeah.
I mean, Dracula, you can't do that much. I mean, like they gave him the fangs, they gave him the cool look.
I like.
It's just very classic.
Yeah, I like that they use the classic look because like people always gripe like, oh, people can't be scared of like the Universal monsters. Like
You fucking can, dude.
yeah, there's a way to do it, and I think this is a very good way of going about it. Like having it, they're in a modern setting. Like these kids aren't generally afraid of them at first. They're like, oh, we know these things, but like once the shit starts going down, like, oh wait, this is actually a scary, like this is a monster that will like hurt me.
Yeah, the danger realizes itself.
Yeah, so like I like that they use like the classic like Dracula costume look. But, like, I don't know. I wish it didn't look so, like, out of the package costumey.
It definitely does. It definitely looks like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, like, fuck, we need a costume for this guy.
Yeah, get him a get him a black and red cape.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever.
Get him an off-the-rack Dracula. Ooh, that's an awesome bunk band name.
Off the rack Dracula?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. That's my new band name.
Off the rack Dracula.
Oh, man. Oh, that's definitely like orange Kool-Aid with whiskey in it. At this point.
Yeah. Look, Bartesian, I don't want to fucking throw you guys some shade, but we had a pod malfunction. Nick's drink has 2 pods in it because the first one has a dent in the barcode and didn't get read right. So look, all I'm saying is we need free boost pods. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Bartesian.
Yeah.
It's Dad. I'm not angry that my drink is really sweet, but it's more like Kool-Aid with whiskey in it than it is an old-fashioned.
I'm not angry. I'm just mildly not as drunk as I want to be.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. I could be so much drunker.
Whew. I am nicely toasted, though. I'm drinking a half in.
I'm feeling all right. Like, this is, I got 1.5 drinks in, and the dog is barking like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've taken a couple of sips of this beer.
You're mixing like heavy coffee beer with like an old fashioned, a doubly sweet old fashioned.
Yeah, it's been a week. Leave me alone.
Yeah, it's the week after Christmas. Look, everybody's fucking.
I need it. I need these things. All right, you got to rate this movie 1 to 10.
I am gonna go. Because there are...
Think about it critically, not...
Yeah, no, I'm not... I'm taking out the nostalgia factor because, like I said, this is a movie I can just... If it's on, I'm going to watch it. Like, today was the perfect day for me to watch it. It was a Saturday, like...
It's a shitty Saturday, too.
Yeah,
the weather's garbage.
I just want to chill and watch a movie. Like,
nothing's happening.
Perfect. Because the story... There's not much to the story. There is definitely some language and some themes that definitely wouldn't fly today. I can ding it on all those. I'm gonna go with. See, I feel like I've been very generous, and now like
you are. That's the thing is like you are normally the one that's like I love this movie, high rating.
Yeah, because I genuinely love like even like bad movies. I love fucking watching a good like monster movie.
Yeah.
I'm always like in the 7, 5, 8 area, and like I'm gonna go with a 7 on this one, just for the dings.
7.
Just because I think I'm a little overcorrecting for being generous. Stuff. But I think this is a fucking solid monster movie. Like I said, it's if you have somebody who's shown an interest, younger person who's shown an interest in monsters, like you want to kind of move them along a little bit.
Yeah.
If you grew up a monster kid and like hadn't seen this, I think this is going to be something very much in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of like those, just 80s like action adventure movies, like I think this is going to be in your wheelhouse too.
I think so. Yeah, like if you liked the Goonies and you also like Universal horror movies, it's a fucking slam dunk.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to find a whole lot of story here.
Yeah, there definitely isn't much substance to this movie. That's one thing I will say. Like as much as I love it, like I wish there was more to it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like they replace the lacking story with an abundance of like fun. I'd like to say
they make up for it with like I said, the fun, like the look of the monsters, just like the treatment of the monsters, how they act, and like just. Perfect if you're like a monster kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think it's a solid 7.
Yeah,
like if there was a lot more backstory and like how the monsters actually got here, it might bring it up to like, you know, like 8.5.
Give me
maybe,
like a cohesive plan, like, you know,
something like that. But as it stands, there are things that are lacking. But it's not aimed at adults, which I think is a problem for me because like I'm coming into this as mostly an adult. Mostly,
yeah.
You know, I saw this movie like I think once as a kid, and it didn't really stick with me for some reason. Like I never went back to it. I saw it, I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago again, and then I watched it today, you know, for the show.
Yeah, so you don't have like the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, it's not really like, it's not one of my movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I could definitely, maybe in a couple more years, watch it with my youngest. I could definitely watch it with my oldest at this point. Like, and I think he might dig it if he decides to like, you know, kind of lean more into the monster movies. He's a big like haunted house kind of kid. Like much like I am. I love a haunted house movie or an exorcism.
Oh hell
movie.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, as it stands, it's a solid 7.
Yeah,
I could probably never give it higher than that.
yeah. I'm giving it like that's, you know, it almost sounds bad by giving it a 7, but like no, it is.
No, 7 is good. Like 7 is solid.
It's just our scale is also a little off.
It's
like,
fucking weird. Yeah.
It is.
It's very like. How do you feel about this movie in your heart of hearts? You know, it's like
it's just, I mean, like the theme of it, like you said, it's fun. It's humorous, but there is like scary elements. Like I love that they.
Yeah.
I love that it's a modern at the time treatment of these old outdated monsters.
Yeah.
Like they can still be scary. They just need to be treated right. I think this movie does that perfectly.
So want to hear something fucked up?
Yeah.
So this movie is about as far removed from the original Universal horror movies as it is for us right now. It's the numbers are a little skewed.
Yeah.
But it's just about there.
So this is 1987. This means this is like 45 years after like the heyday of like monster movies.
So like the Creature from the Black Lagoon, I think, was the latest of these movies.
50. Was it 50s or was it 40s?
Late 40s, I think.
All right.
47, maybe.
That does sound about right. Yeah.
47-ish.
Yeah. There's actually like people don't realize there's a big spread between like I think Frankenstein was the first one, or was it Dracula?
Dracula, I think, was the first in 30. No. I think Frankenstein was the first in 31.
Yes, you're right.
Dracula was 32, 33 maybe.
That does sound right. And then
Mummy,
16 years later, is the last, one you get is the
quote unquote classics.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. And this movie was a number of years ago. I'm not going to do the math.
35 years ago. Holy shit, that's frightening.
Is that the scariest part of this movie? You feeling a bit dated there, Mr. Martinez.
A little bit, man.
You ready to move away from our depression and into the IMDb trivia?
Before we do that, I will say, like, I do not want to see a remake of this movie.
Never.
I would love to see a reboot of it, though. I would love to see, like, because you have the thing with the amulet and the portal, like, it could just open up, 35 years later. And, like, you could have, like, these characters as adults and maybe, like, their kids. And, like, I would like to see more of it because I want, like I said, I do want more of the monsters, like, more of the info on them.
It would be cool. I'm a big fan of, like, if it doesn't warrant a sequel or a reboot, leave it alone. I think this stands strong on its own. Yeah. Because, like, the themes are universal. Like, it's obviously it's very, very dated. Like, the kid's walking around with a Vision streetwear fucking skateboard. Yeah. Like, and that screams 80s.
Yeah, this is very 80s.
It's very 80s.
But like, think about them like in a more like modern setting, where even like there's even more like because even at this time, these monsters are like out of date, kind of, you know.
Oh yeah.
Even I would say even more so today. So I don't know. I think there's more of a payoff of like being able to bring these characters back and like do something cool with them now in like in this modern setting.
It does, but then it's like, how do they come back? You know, because like they're in limbo.
God damn it!
Now.
It's a portal to limbo. All right.
Yeah, it's a portal to limbo. The only way that you could bring it back, I think, would be if you had like disciples of Dracula or something like that. But then you're into this whole like fucking Castlevania thing at this point.
Hey, I don't know. See, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
It can be done, and it could be done well. Would it be done well?
Yeah, well, that's the big question.
Yeah, no.
I think I'm about to lose my microphone here.
You are. That thing is sagging like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Ooh.
Jesus Christ, don't do that.
All right. I believe we're moving on to our trivia segment.
Yeah. IMDb trivia. We got some pretty good ones here.
Right.
So we're going to start with this.
Not to bother you with trivia.
I used to think they were kind of trivia. According to director Fred Decker, Shane Black's first draft of the screenplay was so huge that the opening of the film featured Van Helsing accompanied by Zeppelins and hundreds of men on horseback storming Dracula's castle. Decker stated that the sequence would have cost more than the final budget of the film.
I don't doubt it.
It sounds cool as shit.
Yeah, it does. I dig Shane Black. We'll get into him, the better known as, but yeah. He's got some good stuff behind him. That's one thing I was going to mention before, and I totally forgot. Van Helsing at the end of the movie.
The fucking thumbs up, man.
That's pretty bad.
I could have done without that.
He grabs a hold of Dracula, who is already being pulled into this fucking portal.
How do you get out?
Well, about 2 seconds before like he grabs Dracula, a fucking cop goes flying into the portal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Van Helsing, how about helping that dude out? Like, Dracula's going to take care of himself. He'll go into the portal one way or another.
He's already been staked.
Yeah. Like, help the dude out.
Dude, fuck him.
Thumbs up. That guy's going to be in there forever. Like,
hey, he's not a named character. He can eat shit.
Yeah.
You ready for something real fucking wild here?
Yes.
Liam Neeson was paid for a bit, but it was never shot.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck would it, like...
I don't know, man.
Around 87, like, the only thing he's been in is, like, Krull. Darkman isn't out.
No, he wasn't really, like, super well known at this point.
Yeah, no.
It must have been, like...
Darkman was, what, 88 or 89 or 90?
Darkman?
Yeah.
90?
I think so, yeah.
92, maybe?
I think it's 90. I'm pretty sure it's 90. At the latest, I would say 90.
We can find out. I can't imagine it was much of a part.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could have been cool though. He admitted he would have been a cool Renfield.
Oh yeah.
But near the start of the movie, the plane where Dracula first appears has Browning written on it, as a nod to director Todd Browning, who directed the 1931 Dracula.
That is correct.
So I think we were off on our years because Dracula was 31. I think Frankenstein might have been 32. Yeah, Frankenstein was 32.
Okay. All right. So Dracula was first then.
Yeah. According to director Fred Decker, the film was cut by 13 minutes because some executives didn't want to run more than 90 minutes. Which I guess I can kind of see, because like if they're going like, you know, this is targeted more towards kids, they're shorter attention span.
Yeah, I guess.
Shorter movie would be more relevant to them.
I mean, it's already an hour and 20 minutes. Like, what's fucking 13 more minutes?
13 would have been cool. It was probably
all that backstory
cool.
we're bitching about not getting.
Yeah, like good backstory.
Oh, I also just want to point out, in no fucking school in America are they going to have the supplies to make bullets.
No, they definitely don't have a bullet mold for silver.
Like, I can understand stealing the bows and arrows. Like, all right, we had those in my high school. Like,
Yeah.
Sharpening stakes, that's gonna have to be like on the super down low.
Yeah.
And then you're not fucking cranking out bullets in technology class.
No. I do love that Frankenstein is looking at a titty picture of the high school girl next door. It's actually kind of creepy.
Bogus.
I taught him how to talk.
Oh, the 80s.
Yeah. All right, so here's some shit that I don't agree with at all. In 2006, keep in mind, 2006, think of other movies that have come out since then, or before then, pardon me. Wizard Magazine made a list of the 100 greatest villains of all time. Dracula was ranked number 30 on the list. But surprisingly, it was for Duncan Rager's performance in this film. His performance was chosen over all other versions of the character. Rager's Dracula is still considered to be one of the absolute best interpretations of the character, which I staunchly disagree with. Because Gary Oldman.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't disagree.
Fuck this role up.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say I don't think it's a. I will agree that it's a good representation.
It's a classic Dracula.
Yeah, exactly. The best? Fuck no. Gary Oldman, walks away with that title.
Okay, so Gary Oldman takes it, hands down, bar none. Best Dracula. Fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi is number 2. Like, it's not even an argument. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, Duncan Rager could be 3 at best.
3. I'll give you 3 because he's classic Dracula.
But his plan is very fucking, like, wispy. There's
nothing there.
The only reason it gets as far as it does is because that fucking moron, Sean, goes and gets the amulet when it's in the room with the crosses and the fucking garlic and all the shit that will ward off the fucking monster.
You know what? He's not even number 3, because you know who number 3 is?
Who?
Christopher fucking Lee.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Or, Hammer fucking Dracula.
Yeah, so Wizard Magazine is fucked up. Because this was in 2006. So it's like, what is wrong with you?
They were just trying to move magazines at that point. Yeah, the dying gasps of a...
Wizard used to be great.
It used to be like my Bible in the fucking like mid and like, even like the early 90s. Jesus.
Even in the early 2000s, it was pretty fucking good.
I would say it came out in like 92 or 93. So like, yeah.
Wizard Magazine?
Yeah. So like up through like all through high school, like that shit was like fucking religion for me.
Yeah. Hard disagree. Hard.
I am so
hard disagree.
I can't agree with that.
Like, that was probably written by somebody that had like a fucking hard-on for this movie from their childhood.
It's the same assholes who write these like Rolling Stones like 100 greatest rock songs of all time.
Oh yeah, and it's always a fucking Led Zeppelin song at number 1.
Yoko Ono song that nobody's ever heard of. Is like
fuck that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what sucks about as much as Yoko Ono? Led Zeppelin.
First of all, fuck you. Led Zeppelin is amazing. Fucking goddamn legendary.
Here's my thing. I'll take a Led Zeppelin B-side over any other fucking hits any day of the week, because I am so fucking tired of hearing jangly ass shitty guitar solos from Jimmy Page and sex noises from Robert Plant. It's like, dude, all you're doing, you're singing about hobbits.
I was singing about hobbits. How can you hate a song about hobbits?
Because it's all hobbits, citrus, and sex noises. Get fucked.
Oh, come on. Immigrant Song is goddamn awesome.
It is. All right. All right. I'll give you Immigrant Song because it's about Vikings and shit.
Yeah.
It was the first, like, kind of heavy song ever. But, fuck Led Zeppelin. So,
fucking love Led Zeppelin.
Eat shit. There are at least 2 versions of Michael Sembello's end credit song, which is fucking atrocious either way. In some versions, dating back to the VHS release days, there's a lyric referring to, quote unquote, the gill man swimming in the pool. As of 2007, in the recent HD cable release, this is replaced simply by, quote unquote, the creature from the Black Lagoon. So it doesn't matter how they changed it. That song is fucking atrocious.
Horrible, yeah.
Either way, because that is a lame ass white dude rapping.
Yeah, so this is in the days when they would make songs specifically for movies. I don't remember what it was, but it's basically like the Monster Squad.
But with rap lyrics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen Michael Sembello or looked at his catalog of music.
I'm gonna say he does not look like up on his urban music. Scene.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And if you listen to that song, there is not a single brother in that fucking. None were involved.
Oh, as white as the driven snow.
It's white as rice on a paper plate in a snowstorm. The brief scene where Frankenstein meets Phoebe, playing by the water, is clear homage to a similar yet more tragic scene in the original Frankenstein film. Which, if anybody's ever seen the original Frankenstein, you know that scene.
Yeah.
Like that's an obvious one. Which actually there was a lot of homages in this film. Like that's one thing they did really well. Like if you are very familiar with the old movies,
yeah, there was a Wolfman.
There's a lot of really good stuff.
I can't remember right now, but I noticed it while I was watching it. Fuck, I don't remember. Oh well.
Yeah. Due to licensing issues, the crew had to create characters that were suggestive but not exact copies of Universal iconic monsters. We got a quote here. The challenge was to suggest that those classic creatures without really copying them, explained Shane Mahan. Because we didn't have permission or license to use those specific images. So we could do a quote unquote Gill Man, for example, but it couldn't look too much like the creature from the Black Lagoon. It was frustrating for us at first because, of course, we wanted to do the original designs, but we couldn't. We could only suggest those designs. So the Frankenstein monster looks a bit like the Karloff creature, but instead of the bolts on the neck, he has bolts in the forehead. There's a certain percentage of changes we had to make to get away from any legal copyright infringement.
Yeah, I was gonna say they aren't very it's a pretty heavy suggestion if they're just suggesting these monsters.
It is very suggestive of the originals, but Universal didn't design those monsters. Well, they designed them, like they designed the look of them, but like Universal. Well, I guess in the case of like the creature, they would have. Yeah. But a mummy is a mummy. Frankenstein is, just very accurately designed, or in a book. Dracula designed in a book.
Yeah,
like things predating the Universal movies. But there's definitely a love letter in this movie to those Universal designs.
Yeah, for sure.
You know who had a small role in this movie that was cut out?
I do not. Who?
Dustin Diamond.
Really?
Yeah.
We almost had Screech in this movie.
Screech was almost in this fucking movie. He had a small role as a kid who tries to trade baseball cards with the boys, but then this was later cut. Which, okay, like what the fuck is that character going to be doing?
Yeah.
Like trading monster card movies or
yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
No, it says baseball cards. I even said baseball cards.
Yeah.
I've been drinking.
I guess that's part of that 13 minutes that
yeah.
Maybe they all didn't need to stay in.
Nah. Definitely not a key role thing that could have done without. Mary Ellen Trainor, who played the mother of the lead siblings, also plays the mother of lead sibling children in The Goonies from 1985.
That is correct.
When did this movie come out? 87?
87. Goonies 87. Was 85.
Yeah. Jason Hervey, who plays... I'm sorry. I don't remember his character's name. He was the bully there.
Yeah.
He was the older brother in The Wonder Years. You guys have seen him in a million things. He wears a Walter Payton shirt in this movie, while his on-screen brother from The Wonder Years, Fred Savage, wears a Walter Payton jersey in The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
which is very explainable because in the 80s, Walter Payton was still a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. I remember we always used to say that, like in the Wonder Years, like Kevin and Wayne would always fight, and Kevin would be like, "Wayne, you butthead!" And like we always want to see the realistic fight between them. Like, "Fuck you, Wayne!" And like just fucking decks him. You know?
Yep. Little fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another like almost for this movie. Seth Green screen tested for a role and even read with Andre Gower, who was cast as Sean. The two later became good friends.
Huh.
I don't know if they're good friends or not, but that's what IMDb says.
Huh. I'll get into the more in the better known as.
Ooh. So here's some cool shit, and I actually kind of noticed it watching the movie. There's a poster for Lucio Fulci's Zombie
Really?
in the clubhouse.
It's pretty heavy for kids these days.
That's advanced viewing, especially for those kids.
Let's see, like the zombie,
Zombie.
like, attacking the topless woman, like the zombie fighting a shark.
The eyeball scene,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That one's heavy.
Yeah.
Like Lucio Fulci's Zombie, if you have not seen it, is from the 70s, but it has a lot of the kind of effects and gore and substance that you would expect from a late 80s zombie movie.
Yeah, it is he's neck and neck with Romero as far as like innovation in zombie movie.
Yeah, like
I want to say,
I would say it's Day of the Dead-esque.
Yeah, I
in
want to say in
its
like
content.
Italy or Europe in general. I want to say Dawn of the Dead is marketed as Zombie 2. Or it might be the other way around.
No. Zombie is Zombie 2.
Yeah.
Which is
Because-
supposed to be a sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Okay, but isn't Dawn of the Dead marketed as Zombie in like some countries?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure of that.
All right.
That's why.
Then don't ask me.
That's why Zombie 2 or Zombie gets marketed as Zombie 2.
Oh,
I just got them like mixed up. All right. We will move right along to the better known as segment of the show.
Yep.
We will start off with the director of the movie, Fred Decker. Let me see. I was less drunk when I got this already. I'm like, why did I? Yes, he is actually. He's written some memorable stuff in his time.
Oh shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, he was co-writer on House and House 2. I got to interview Ethan Wiley on the Evil Geeks podcast once. He's the one of the other writers on that, and that was a fucking great interview.
Yeah.
He wrote. I want to say both of those also. Fantastic fucking interview. If you haven't listened to that, I would definitely go check it out. Especially if you're into horror, if you're into movie making. He told us some great stories. But he also directed. He wrote Godzilla 1985, which was like the big famous like Raymond Burr like return to Godzilla.
Yeah.
Let's
he directed RoboCop 3? Is that what I just saw down there?
I think he wrote it and he directed it. I think I was direct.
Good God.
Director. RoboCop 3.
Hey, Night of the Creeps.
He's director and writer. Oh, no, just director. Oh, no, and writer by Night of the Creeps. He directed an episode of Tales from the Crypt. The Thing from the Grave. Hold on, let's check that out because it sounds awesome. When an abusive agent learns that his sexy model of a girlfriend is cheating on him with a photographer, he kills him and later kidnaps his girlfriend, but soon learns soon learns the love is more powerful than death. I want to say like the last 3 fucking episodes of Tales from the Crypt that we've like looked into have all had a very similar plot.
There's actually a lot of like scorned lover episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah. Looks like Terry Hatcher was in it. Miguel Ferrer. I don't remember that episode. We always talk about how much we love that show. We never remember any of these episodes.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, I love Miguel Ferrer though.
He is no longer with us, I believe. That's right? Possibly?
No.
I'm thinking of Michael Ironside.
Holy
shit! He is dead. Yeah.
2017?
He's George Clooney's cousin.
Was he really?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I like him better than George Clooney.
I can understand that, but like George Clooney's in some fucking great. Oh brother, where art thou? Like,
Yes, but I'm not gonna base what I like about a person on what they were in.
all right. Yeah, I can give you that. Let's see. Where am I? Fred Dekker. Holy shit.
The Predator.
Yeah. He wrote for the last Predator movie. Well, the last at this point. He looks like he wrote a total of 5 different episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
That's awesome.
Split Lower Berth. I remember the title. What was it about? Enoch. Oh yes, I do remember this one. The dude has the fucked up he's like a freak in a freak show. He has the two faces. Yeah.
Yes.
He falls in love with a 4,000-year-old mummy. I do. And then the mummy gets pregnant, I remember at the end. Yeah, and he's the Crypt Keeper.
That episode was fucked up.
Yeah, it's the baby Crypt Keeper. Yeah.
Yep.
I do remember that one.
Yeah. Man, that show was fucking great.
That was a good show. What else did he do? Writer. Tales from the Crypt. Split Personality. This is the later one, 1992.
We may have to start a second podcast called
Tales from the Crypt.
Cryptcast.
Yeah. With Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Jack Owes Money and Twins. Oh, Jack Loves Money and Twins. I don't remember that.
I don't. Joel Silver. I know that name. Director.
He's a director and producer of a lot of fucking stuff.
Yeah.
I should have gone to the bathroom when you got up. Fuck.
Well.
Let's see. The thing where we just checked the thing from the grave.
Yeah.
Only San Diego.
Only Sin Deep? What the fuck? You have a fucking brain tumor?
I saw San Diego.
Fuck you, San Diego. Holy shit.
Learns that beauty is only skin deep.
I love Leah Thompson.
I vaguely remember this.
That's the worst description of an episode I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, whoever writes these is fucking terrible. I remember, and all through the house, because it's got Marilyn Trainer in it. It's where the fucking the Santa. Hold on, greedy woman makes the mistake of murdering her husband. Yeah, the fucking the crazy Santa Claus is trying to kill her. Fucking.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Larry Drake, fucking Dr. Giggles was the Santa Claus. I remember that was a good one. Robert Zemeckis directed it. Wow. For some reason, I thought it was Richard Donner.
God damn. I fucking love that show so much.
Yeah, that was a great show. All right. We've spent a lot of time on Fred.
Yeah, let's move on.
Some other things. Ricochet, House 2. That's it. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Good job, Fred. Great.
You're fucking awesome.
We usually don't go into the writers, but I did pull up Shane Black, his info, just because he has been a part of a ton of great fucking stuff. Let's see. I mean, directing and writing, and even acting.
They're doing a Doc Savage movie?
Yeah, apparently he is writing and directing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I am excited about that. I directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is a pretty good movie. Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man 3, which... Don't
you dare say that was a good movie.
I enjoy Iron Man 3. It's a good
Christmas
movie.
Who gives a fuck about that?
He is... that's right, he's Hawkins in the first Predator movie. Donnelly in RoboCop 3. This is his acting gigs. Not so much, but writing is where his sweet spot is. He wrote all of the Lethal Weapon movies.
The Nice Guys. Damn.
The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Monster Squad. Last Boy Scout, which I fucking love. It's definitely a guilty pleasure. Last Action Hero, another guilty pleasure.
Last Boy Scout was a Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans. He's a football player.
Yeah.
The Long Kiss Goodnight, which is a great fucking movie that does not get enough credit.
Lethal Weapon 2 and 3.
And 4.
Oh, shit.
And 1.
Oh, he wrote all of them.
Yeah, I said he wrote all of the Lethal Weapon movies.
That's fucking drastic. difference between all of those movies. Like,
Yeah,
I would have assumed somebody else was writing them from like 3 and 4.
You get different directors, I believe, and that's why probably there's a different like tonal shift. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which we mentioned. The Lethal Weapon TV series.
Moving right along.
But Shane Black, like, definitely has been a part of some great stuff. We'll move on. Andre Gower, who is Sean in this. I will, full disclosure, I got to interview Andre on my Evil Geeks podcast, and was one of the best interviews like I've ever done.
Yeah.
Not just patting myself on the back. Like, he was great. Like, told some great stories. Not only is he known from this movie, he was all over like early, like, not early Hollywood, 80s Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, he was even like in like fucking like the girly, like, heartthrob magazines, like,
Was he really?
17 and shit like that.
Tiger Beat?
Tiger Beat, all of that garbage. Like, he told us, like, he told me some, he came on as part of like a promotional thing for this movie called Baby Frankenstein, which is like a horror movie.
Yeah.
We did not talk about that movie for 1 second. And like, I will take the full blame on that one, because like, we just started bullshitting and like just got it into just fucking talked for like a good hour and a half of like just just what it's like to be an actor, like just going through all that, like, being a child star, like, I mean, like, he was right there with all these people in the 80s, like, the people that like these people who like died from drugs.
Yeah, like the Sean Astons. And
like all those, like the Corey Haim, Corey Feldmans. So yeah, again, not just patting myself on the back, like, he was fucking great person to talk to. So check that out. Check out. He did a documentary actually about the Monster Squad called
Wolfman's Got Nards. Yeah.
So check that out. He had a heart attack like right before COVID, and like he was pretty.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was pretty bad, but I think he's doing well now.
Good.
Yeah. So thumbs up, man. Again, like, just looking at like going over his early fucking IMDb, like his first credit was 1979. The Man in the Santa Claus Suit, but after that he was in Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless, Saint Elsewhere, The A-Team, Highway to Heaven, Knight Rider, Night Court, T.J. Hooker.
Jesus Christ, all the classics.
Yeah, the
man.
the 80s Twilight Zone, It's a Living, Remington Steele. He's in. Oh, I thought that was the movie The Wizard.
No.
Yeah, nope. Let's see, Sidekicks, which we mentioned a couple episodes ago, I think, with Ernie Reyes.
Yeah.
The Monster Squad, My Two Dads, Mr. President, which was like one of the first shows on Fox. He was George C. Scott's grandson in that. Valerie, which I believe became Valerie's Family and the Hogan Family. Mr. Belvedere. Then, yeah, as he gets older, it gets a little bit sparse. But definitely a great guy, great person to talk to. I looked through some of the kids' IMDb's. Really, like, there wasn't much there. But there's a lot of people in this movie who you probably have seen elsewhere.
Yeah.
Steven's dad, being one of them. Detective Steven's dad. Okay.
Detective.
That's
Excuse me?
His credit is I'm sorry, or to say Dell or
Dell.
Okay. I need
Jesus
better glasses.
Christ.
I'm sitting far away from the screen.
No, you're not. It's a fucking 32-inch television, man.
He was in a lot of stuff, but the reason we are stopping here today is that
Holy shit!
He was on 6 episodes of Murder, She Wrote between 1985 and 1996. I believe playing separate characters every single
fucking time.
Yeah.
One credit is man.
Man, uncredited.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
So yeah, he fucking...
Hold on, wait. JB, as in Jailbird, is the name of that fucking episode. Which is so dumb.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Let's see. Was there anything else that really stood out?
Kung Fu, The Legend Continues.
Trancers 3, 4, and 5.
He's basically a poor man's Eric Roberts.
Yeah, 80s Columbo, Cagney and Lacey.
80s Columbo.
Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Hill Street Blues.
He's on all the typical bangers.
Typical 80s, like stops, for popular actors.
Enola Gay. The Man, the Mission, the Atomic Bomb. Oh yeah, he was on Quincy.
All right, moving right along. Duncan Rieger, who played Dracula in this movie. He's
Holy
probably
shit,
most well known as
there's
Dracula.
there's our guy from V.
Yes, there's quite a few people from V in this, but the thing we are most interested in was in the year 2000. He played Yuri Malinkovich in Murder, She Wrote, the TV movie A Story to Die For.
I was not even aware of that being a thing.
Yep. Yeah, they did like TV movies after the series stopped.
Yeah, but like in fucking 2000?
I guess so.
Who gave a shit?
Old people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now people who listen to this podcast.
Yep.
So yeah, we have another Murder, She Wrote box to check. I don't think he made it onto the proper series. No. But he was on V. Charles. I don't remember that role, but it definitely sounds like an alien.
Yeah.
Because they all had like weird, like basic names like that.
Greatest American Hero, huh?
That popped up a couple of times in the credits in this for this movie.
He played a character called Palmer Bradshaw, which that's 2 last names. Like I don't.
I've definitely seen people with 2 first names as a name.
Yeah.
But like 2 last names.
I don't remember who it was, but somebody said don't trust somebody with 2 last names.
That makes sense. None of his recent stuff sounds familiar.
Well, he had that gap between 2009 and 2021.
Yeah, but he's back in Trek Untold, the podcast series, which sounds like a audio drama.
Trek Untold.
Good luck with that, Duncan.
Yeah.
Tom Noonan, who's definitely like a guy like, oh, I've seen that guy somewhere. His most memorable role is probably from RoboCop 2. He was the main bad guy, Kane.
I did like Manhunter.
I was going to throw that one a shout. Yeah, Manhunter is a criminally underrated movie.
Absolutely.
It is overshadowed by Red Dragon, which is a prequel to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
That is the more popular version. Manhunter is the same version. It's an earlier.
It's the same story.
Yeah, same story. Manhunter is an earlier version, and a lot of people would argue the superior version.
I'm one of those as well.
Yeah,
it's got what's his name?
William Peterson
from CSI.
Yeah, from CSI.
Yeah.
Tom Noonan played Francis Dollarhide, who is the spoiler. He's the killer in that movie.
Yeah.
That's I love both versions of that movie. Like they're both fantastic.
Manhunter's way better.
Brian Cox plays Hannibal Lecter in that. He's the first Hannibal Lecter, and most people don't know that. Not Anthony Hopkins.
Yep.
That's like 3 years before Anthony Hopkins played him. Brian Cox, most well known now from Succession, and Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also he's been around, but like in some of the other memorable stuff, he was the bad guy in
he was in Hell on Wheels. Holy shit.
Yeah, Hell on Wheels on AMC. He's the bad guy in Last Action Hero, the Ripper, I think his name is, the guy who kills like Schwarzenegger's son.
Oh, with the contact lens or the fake eye.
No, he's the guy in like the raincoat with the axe.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
He has the long hair. What else? We mentioned The Cape a couple episodes, a fucking notoriously horrible superhero show on NBC.
Yeah, the Lich.
2 episodes of that. House of the Devil. That's a fucking good movie. Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't think so.
It's a horror movie. It's him, and I believe it's Mary Warnock.
Yeah.
Like they hire like this girl as like a babysitter. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's like a cult, like devil cult, like horror movie.
Yeah.
Really, I recommend it. It's fucking good.
All right.
House of the Devil.
The Alphabet Killer. I'm not familiar with that movie, but I'm familiar with the Alphabet Killer.
Oh, let me just double check that it is.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not spewing shit.
Oh, I have seen that cover photo.
Yeah, it's on like every streaming service.
Yeah.
It's set in 1983. And Mary Warnock, not Mary Warnock. I'm sorry. Yeah, check that out. I recommend
Noonan.
that one. Let's see what else. I want to sell time short.
I think you're gonna have to go well beyond 2002 to find what he's like well known for.
Law and Order, CSI.
Oh, bullet in the brain.
He was on an episode of the X-Files. John Lee Roche.
Oh, he was in
sounds like a
Heat.
serial killer. Heat. That's a fucking great movie.
Heat's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like I said, Last Action Hero, Monsters, the TV show, which pops up on here quite a bit.
Yep.
The Equalizer, Manhunter, FX, which I have not seen. I keep hearing that's a really awesome movie. FX 1 and 2.
I've seen the second one. I've never seen the first one.
Tales from the Dark Side. Easy
Classic.
Money, which is a fucking classic Rodney Dangerfield movie. Rodney
Easy Money.
Dangerfield and Joe
Which one
Pesci.
is he?
That's the one where he has to be like nice for like a certain amount of time to like earn some money. To inherit his mother-in-law's colossal fortune. A hard-living gambling addict must change his unhealthy ways. Yeah, he has to like give up drinking and gambling and like just being an asshole, basically.
I don't. Rodney Dangerfield, the man, couldn't do that.
It's a fucking funny movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Rodney Dangerfield.
There's there's a scene. It still makes me laugh. Like they're throwing his daughter's getting married. She's marrying Taylor Negron. And they're throwing like, the party in the backyard of his house. It's like, they're like like a lower like middle class family, like working class.
Yeah.
And like I just because I've been to this party so many times, there's like an overhead shot of like all the backyards, and like there's just this little tiny fenced in backyard that's just packed with people celebrating the party, like the wedding. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's about a third the size it should be.
Yeah. There's like 100 people packed into like 40 square feet. Like,
I've been there.
I haven't seen that in so long. I highly recommend that movie. And that's really about it. Moving on.
Well, hey, he was in Wolfen.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that.
That movie sucked ass.
I don't even know if I've seen that.
No?
Yeah.
Don't.
Mary Ellen Trainor, we mentioned, sadly is no longer with us. She died in 2015.
R.I.P.
Yeah, she was in like every 80s like big like action movie. She's in 2001's Amy's Orgasm.
What?
Aside from that, she's in all of the Lethal Weapon movies. She plays the psychiatrist that's like Riggs is always fucking with.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. She's in Congo, Little Giants, Forrest Gump, Parker Lewis Can't Lose, the Ferris Bueller ripoff TV series on Fox.
That was not great.
Yeah, I remember watching it, but it was not good. Death Becomes Her. Cuffs, the Christian Slater cop movie. Ricochet.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Who was Vivian in Death Becomes Her?
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. She was played by Mary Ellen Trainor, though.
Because I love that fucking movie.
She's pretty like middle of the credits, so I don't know. Yeah.
Fucking Isabella Rossellini, man. She was at the height of her powers in that movie.
Let's see, Parker Lewis.
All right, so you're a big Kids in the Hall fan.
Yes,
right.
I was actually watching Kids in the Hall today.
So, what the fuck is his name? The one that was on News Radio and
Dave Foley.
Dave Foley. If you put that short black hair wig on him, looks exactly like Isabella Rossellini.
I think there's even
I'm
there's a couple
pretty sure
jokes about that.
I'm pretty sure he played her in a couple episodes.
Yeah. Let's see some of the other movies she was in. Mary Ellen Trainor, Back to the Future Part 2, Ghostbusters 2. We mentioned the episode of Tales from the Crypt earlier. Scrooge, which I just watched the other day.
Great movie.
One of the best Christmas movies ever. Die Hard, Action Jackson, Amazing Stories, Remington Steele. She was the mom in the Goonies. Then Romancing the Stone in 1984. Another good movie.
Hey, she was in Cheers.
And Cheers, yeah.
I love Cheers.
I do enjoy me some Cheers.
Cheers is one of the best background TV shows of all time.
Yeah, for sure. I can watch like the older ones with Diane. I can watch the newer ones with Rebecca. Like,
Yeah.
it
It doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
the show is just so... I don't want to say it's generic, but like it's just like it's the best background noise.
yeah. I gotta get back on the train watching those.
I think it's because there's always a joke. Like you watch it for 5 minutes, you catch something.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Scary German guy, played by Leonardo Cimino. He's another guy like you've seen probably in a shitload of movies. Last one he was in 2007, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. That's a pretty good one with Ethan Hawke and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
So here's the thing. I always like to think that I was like very well versed in movies and especially horror movies.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the shit that you're like, oh yeah, that was a good movie. Oh, he was in this. She was in that. I'm like, I don't know any of that shit.
That's why I like doing this segment.
Yeah.
I worked in a video store. I worked in a movie theater. Like, I dig movies. What can I say?
I mean, like, I love movies too, and I've seen so many, but like, comparatively, I'm a fucking scrub.
Made, which I fucking love. I think it's a great movie with Vince Vaughn and John Favreau, where they're like low-level mobsters.
Did you just say Favreau?
I did say Favreau, yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's his name.
Favreau?
Favreau. Jesus, fucking tomato. Oh, Lord. That is one of my favorite
Gutter.
movies. Gutter is a tool. Gutter is a tool.
Blow me where the Pampers is.
You're wearing the shirt of the band that you're going to see.
All right, what was this guy in?
Oh, shit, yeah. Leonardo Cimino. Made, which I said was awesome. I highly recommend that movie. That's a highly quotable movie. Let's see. Waterworld. Mantis, which I fucking loved when I was a kid. I want to say that was the lead-in for the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Mantis?
On Fox. Yeah, it was.
Was that the shitty like sci-fi superhero movie?
He was like a paraplegic, and like he made this like exosuit that like gave him like superpowers.
It was like shitty Guyver, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Hudson Hawk. Equalizer pops up again. Moonstruck. V. That's right. He was in V. He was a Holocaust survivor.
He was in Dune.
Dune. He's the Baron's doctor in Dune.
Week 3 in a row of referencing David Lynch's Dune.
Nice. We do have that streak going. Yeah.
Yeah. We should end that because that movie's not good.
It's not a good movie, no. Amityville 2.
Ew.
Isn't that the one where like the kid gets creepy with his sister? And
I don't remember, but I recall that is also the series that takes like the 3D twist on the third one.
Yeah.
Much like Jaws and
Jaws
Friday the
3D.
13th.
Fun fact: I originally learned this from past guest Ken Reed. The original plot for Jaws 3 was going to be a straight up comedy. And they were going to call it Jaws 3 People Zero.
Ew.
Yeah. Would it have been any worse than Jaws 3?
No.
Which I will say I unabashedly love, even though it's fucking horrible. I remember seeing that at the drive-in when I was a kid.
Right, like the 3 was the 3D one, right?
That's the one in the water park. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Friday the 13th Part 3 was 3D.
Yeah.
Jaws 3 was 3D. Amityville 3 was 3D. Like, it was bad, man. It was a bad time.
Critters 3 also 3D?
I don't think so.
I think it's the one like
maybe
that they like destroyed because Leonardo DiCaprio was in it. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
It was just like that was the time where like if it was the third one, they were doing it in 3D because they had that.
We've got to
the new 3D technology, much like everything that came out in like 2009.
I don't think Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors was 3D.
No, I don't think it was.
Anywho, moving on.
Moving
our
along.
Wolfman. I'm just gonna say it. There's nothing else you know him. Well, there's a shitload you know him from. But the most popular one, of course, is Uncle Rico. John Reeves. He's the Wolfman in this movie. He is also Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite. Back in '83.
Cut it right there.
Yeah.
I bet you I can throw this football over those mountains. That's it. Like, there can't be another fucking thing that anybody really knows him from.
He is in all of the Taken movies.
I don't give a fuck.
Criminal Minds.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Supernatural. He was in 2 episodes of Supernatural.
Is who? Martin Caesar. Or Creaser.
Yeah, who's blind now, motherfucker?
Fuck yourself.
Then he was Napoleon Dynamite, the cartoon also.
There was a Napoleon Dynamite TV series?
Yeah, it was an animated one on
what?
Fox. He was on Sons of Anarchy also. Magoo, I don't remember that.
I don't know.
Lost, that's right. I forgot he was on that show.
This is not fully, but fuck that show.
Yeah, I was into that show when it was on, and then that fucking bullshit ending, like, fuck that show. Carnival, which we've mentioned on here a couple times, is a great show on HBO.
I have not seen it because I know it never had a finale.
Never had a resolution, yeah.
So I don't want to watch it.
I don't blame you.
Which kind of sucks because the premise is right up my alley.
It's well done. It's a really good show. It's just you're not going to get an ending to the story.
Yeah, I don't want that.
He was in a couple episodes of Seinfeld. I remember the homeless man one where they're tying people to the plan is to get homeless people to pull rickshaws. Get Shorty, which is a great movie. He was on the X-Files.
Hold on. You skipped right over 90210.
I did, yeah.
Where he played
Dope Dealer.
Yeah.
Several times.
That was back in the 90s where dope was a catch-all term for everything.
Let's go smoke some dope. You can mean
weed.
Coke, you can mean weed.
Weed is dope. Heroin is dope. Speed was dope.
He was on 54 episodes of Martin. I do not remember. Martin! I do not remember that.
I watched a lot of Martin.
So did I. Do not remember John Grease. But yeah. Oh, Friday Night Part 2. That's the other reason I kept this on here. Twilight Zone, 80s one. Real Genius. He's Laszlo in that. I think it's the guy who just sits in the closet and wins sweepstakes.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
What episode was that?
Had to have touched on Val Kilmer. I don't remember.
Oh, we were talking about...
Was it the Night of the Living Dead episode?
No, it was our Thing episode because we were talking about Kurt Russell, who was in Tombstone, which had Val Kilmer, who was in Real Genius.
I knew it was a guest episode. I couldn't remember which one.
Holy balls.
Yeah, wow.
Track that one down. Who's drunk now? It's still me.
Moving on. Stan Shaw, who...
Classic.
He is the partner, the dad's partner. If you put a gun to my head, I thought he was the guy in Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, who gets his head boxed off.
Nope.
I didn't even know there was Jeepers Creepers 3, but he was in it, 2017.
Yeah. I think I'm proud of. I think I'm proud of myself because I've never seen any of those.
I want to say I've seen the first 2. The first one I want to say came out when I was working at a video store, so I pretty much had to.
Yeah, I didn't want to, so I didn't.
He's in Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage, Cutthroat Island, the Rennie Harlan pirate movie, and then in 1985, 1993, and in 1994, he was on Murder, She Wrote.
As
2 characters on 3 episodes.
Yeah. He had a repeat.
So on this show, we have 10 Murder, She Wrote credits between 3 actors.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's got to be a record of some sort.
I would think so.
We're calling it a record, at least. From
by the way, I think we need to get a plaque made for our friends over at Team Manticore for our 5 actors from The Thing who were in.
Yeah, who were on Murder, She Wrote.
I think we're gonna get them a trophy or a plaque or something made because that was
A brass 5.
fucking absurd.
He's in the movie Rising Sun with Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery.
Good ass movie.
I haven't seen that in a while. I gotta watch that again. It's a Michael Crichton story.
Yeah.
The movie Body of Evidence.
Ooh, fried green tomatoes.
Fried green tomatoes. Wise guy. Harlem Nights. He's like the boxing champ in that movie. I want to say he's kind of like, he plays it like kind of like a moron.
I mean, like Jack Jenkins sounds like a prize fighter.
Yeah, I recently saw that movie for the first time. It was like, I can see why it's not really like held in high regard, but I think it's better than most people give it credit for.
Yeah.
Monster Squad.
Under Siege. Oh, different one. That's a TV
not
movie.
even the Seagal one. A lot of TV credits. Fame.
Yeah.
Hill Street Blues. That's really about it.
Roots, The Next Generation.
He was in Rocky. I do not remember the character of Dipper, but
Dipper.
He was in Rocky.
Who the fuck was Dipper?
Yeah. Probably just one of the other like boxers like hanging around.
I don't know. I remember Spider Rico.
Yeah.
Maybe he was one of his trainers. I don't know.
Yeah. Jason Hervey, who we mentioned earlier.
You know him from The Wonder Years.
Yeah, he's Wayne on The Wonder Years.
Pretty much it.
He was in a lot of like.
Oh, and the brother in Back to the Future.
He's in
Right?
he's the younger version of his mom's brother. Yeah. Yes, because it's at the dinner.
Yeah, because there was like the jailbird brother.
Yeah, he's the jailbird. No, the jailbird.
No, he's not the jailbird brother.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the one with the raccoon skin cap.
He was also in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But other than that, like he just shows up like because people know him as Wayne.
Yeah, he was in like everything.
Simon and Simon, which always shows up on this. There's a Fast Times TV series. He plays Curtis Spicoli, who I'm imagining is Sean Penn's like younger brother, his character.
I would think so. Hey, sidekicks.
Sidekick shows up again. Yep, Different Strokes. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Back to the Future, Police Academy 2. He's in
the original Frankenweenie.
Yeah, the original
Holy
Frankenweenie.
shit. That was back when Tim Burton was like edgy and goth.
Yeah. Let's see.
Hey, Trapper John, MD.
Our last two people, I believe, are creature actors. Let me just make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Carl. That's right. No, I'm sorry. Adam Carl was Derek. I want to say he was the older kid, the rebel kid with the kid who was making the bullets.
Derek, yeah. He was the middle schooler who drank beer and smoked cigarettes.
Yeah. He was the replacement voice of Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He took over for Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman was the original.
Yeah.
And I think it was a different actor from 2 and 3.
Yeah. Other than that, like kind of the same stops as people, we've been talking about all night, like soap operas, Days of Our Lives.
15 episodes of Days of Our Lives. That's probably a pretty decent paycheck.
Yeah, King of Queens. Silk Stockings.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hearts of Fire. That was a CBS sitcom with Marky Post and John Ritter. Batman the Animated Series. I've got Batman in My Basement. That's a good episode. I feel like the kid helps him, like he's all hurt, and like the kid helps him get back to on his feet.
Oh yeah. Peter Pan and the Pirates. I remember that.
Yeah. Donatello, the voice in Turtles 2. A lot of 80s sitcoms. Designing Women, Anything But Love, which was with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, no
Richard Lewis.
No real movie bangers though.
Yeah, Dear John with Judd Hirsch. Who's the Boss? Charles in Charge. Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Charles in charge of my
Tracy Ullman Show, Facts of Life. The Magical World of Disney. Square One, I remember that shit.
No, that's beyond me.
Yeah, it was like an educational type of show.
Cheers.
Family Ties.
Benson. Holy shit.
This dude was all over the fucking all over the sitcoms.
Yeah, but none of the really, really good ones.
Yeah.
It was like that second tier kind of shit.
That's really it. Like the last credit is 2016.
Yeah.
Never heard of the Midnighters.
No.
Last but not least, Tom Woodruff Jr., who...
I know the name.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I know this name. It's because he is like every creature ever.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, let's see. Just his special effects listings. Starting in 2021, we have Godzilla vs. Kong, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, like he's a creature creator.
Creator, I think actor also, because he has this is like the special effects department.
Because he was the Gill Man, right?
Yeah, I believe he was. He also has credits for acting in this too. The special effects powerhouse that was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Let's see. He's in all of the Alien movies, maybe except the first one. Even up to the Alien vs. Predator movies. Elektra, Tremors 4. Looney Tunes Back in Action seems to show up every week on this show also.
What the fuck?
That's the one that Joe Dante directed.
Was that the one with
Tremors 3?
Looney Tunes Back in Action? Was that the one with Brendan Fraser?
Maybe. Well, we can just double check. Hold on.
Do it.
There we go.
Do it, fucker.
Shit.
Yeah, it
Jenna
was.
Elfman.
It was really, really bad. like you remember how good Space Jam was? Like it's super bad.
Demolition Man, The Terminator, going back to 84.
What?
What
does he just got for actor?
Yeah, I'm going to go to his acting credits because it's a lot of the similar stuff. We'll start at the...
He probably just acted as the monsters and shit.
Yeah, Aliens.
Motherfucker was Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead. That's probably why we know the name.
Yeah.
The Monster Squadies, Gillman, Pumpkinhead, Leviathan, which I remember. That was an Abyss ripoff. The Monsters TV series, Tremor, he's a graboid. Utility Monster.
He's the greatest ever.
Tales from the Crypt, Corman's Calamity. Let's see. Oh, I remember. Yep. Harry Anderson. Yeah, he's a cartoonist, and like whatever he draws comes to life. And he draws his wife. I remember as like a monster, like this big, like gross fucking monster.
I vaguely remember that. My favorite Tales from the Crypt episode to do with an illustrator though was the one that it was the guy that would kill people and then paint the crime scene.
Oh yeah.
Like he would paint like with their blood and shit too.
Tales from the Crypt, Alien 3, lead alien. He was Goro in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
He's in Jumanji, Alien Resurrection, Beyond Belief, which we mentioned a couple episodes ago. The X-Files, Hollow Man. He's the gorilla in that.
Dude, my childhood would not have been the same without this guy.
Seriously.
100%.
Bedazzled, which I think is a great movie.
It was an okay movie.
It's a movie that I've seen a lot. Let's just say, I think it's funny.
It's definitely fun.
Yeah. Let's see, Alien vs. Predator, Electro we mentioned, both of the Alien Predator movies.
Oh, he played the Wolfman in Cirque du Freak.
Cirque du Freak. He's a gorilla on The Tonight Show. A gorilla on Harry's Law.
You played a lot of gorillas.
A gorilla on Change of Heart. A gorilla on Zoo, the TV series.
That's a lot of gorillas.
Yeah, this dude is like the gorilla. Like, we need a gorilla. Somebody get Tom on the phone.
Gorilla Grodd, man.
Sorry to bother you. Spoiler, he plays a horseman in that movie. Because they are making horsemen in that movie. And that'll do it.
Equisapien. What? Hold on.
Wait. Yeah.
Equisapien.
It's a fucking parody movie, and like you think it's like, kind of like a, somewhat realistic comedy. And then, like, you find out at one point that the company this guy is working for is turning people into fucking horsemen.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with that. I'm done with that.
But yeah, Tom Woodruff Jr. was in a lot of shit as a monster that you probably enjoyed or helped create a monster that you enjoy.
What the fuck? What puppets were in Grown Ups 2?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Probably a gorilla. If I had, based on history alone.
Get me the Gorilla Man.
Yeah. Tell Tom he's going to need the gorilla suit this weekend.
Get it out of storage, please.
That'll do it for Better Known As. On to the crapshoot.
We've wasted a lot of time on this movie.
We did. We're at an hour and 45, but like we have also like been stopping frequently, like to go to the bathroom to blow my nose. Like,
certain things needed time.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Like, this movie was good. Like, I can't go any higher than good.
Yeah, it's like, how was it? It's good.
Yeah.
Because like, you know,
it's fine.
There are
like,
flaws. There are evident flaws, but like, they're not enough to derail the movie. It's still an enjoyable, you know, movie for what it is, especially if you love monsters.
Yeah, I can 100% understand why people that saw this movie a lot as kids love this movie. It's the same reason why I love Goonies or I love Labyrinth.
Or I'd say it's the same reason why I love like the Star Wars like early 90s novels, because we're getting this in a time when we don't get these monsters. We don't get like
this is some of the earliest fan service, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Like just like those Star Wars novels came out, like we didn't know there were prequels that were going to come out one day, or shitty sequels, or like, you know.
Yeah, it's like,
as far as we knew, Star Wars was over. Like, you know, and like that's what we got. I loved it. You know, fucking.
It's just like a little bit of extra something or other.
Yeah,
which is
we didn't have our own like Universal monster movies, so like this was like the touchstone to get to those.
It definitely bridges the gap.
Yeah.
Like, if you were an 80s kid or a 90s kid or whatever, and you saw this movie a lot, you would have that, like, kind of visceral connection to those old Universal movies.
Whew.
I did want to like it a little more than I wound up liking it. But what are you going to do? Like,
yeah, I mean, if you don't have the nostalgia factor, I mean, like I said, this is, you know, when I think of Saturday afternoon movies, this is one of the ones, like one of the first ones that pop into my mind.
Yeah. Like, this is not really something that you're going to be like, my top 10 list ever. You know, it's like, it just isn't.
I want to even say I might have ranked this as my greatest Saturday afternoon movie. I'm like, we did a list on the podcast a long time ago. Yeah. Just because it was like, because it was on enough. It wasn't one of those ones like it was on every weekend.
Yeah.
But it was on just when you wanted it to be, when you needed it to be on. Like when you hadn't seen it in a while, like, boom, it would come on. Like, all right, like that, you know, that it always had perfect timing like that.
I can see that. It's just like, and I understand it from that angle. It's just I never wound up watching it, so I don't have that nostalgia factor. So it's not really what I would consider like a great Saturday movie. Like things like that I wound up watching a lot would have been Stone Cold or like, you know, shit like that. Like
The Principal.
Yeah.
That was the one that was on a lot.
Yeah.
3 O'Clock High, all those like school fighting.
It's just
like Undercover Principal, like Lean on Me seemed to be on a lot too.
Just dumb shit movies.
Yeah.
Like
like a lot of like 80s like action. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that would always be on. Like Ninja Turtles 1 was one that would be on a lot.
Oh, that was on forever.
Yeah. Shit. See, I want to say Jaws, but that wasn't even like a Saturday afternoon one. That one movie was just always on.
Yeah.
That one is more like my memories of that. I mean, I've seen that movie hundreds upon hundreds of times, going back to when I was a kid. But that one always for me is going to be the movie like that we watched at like 1 or 2 in the morning, like, you know, after like a night out at the bar.
Oh,
like,
really?
It would just be on like Bravo or like TNT.
Yeah.
We'd come home and it would just be on TV, and like that's just the movie we're gonna chill for the rest of the night too.
I don't really have that. I don't know that I have that kind of nostalgia factor with any movie, like, because I was very like isolated as a kid.
Well, so was I. That's why most of my fucking my points of reference are movies and TV shows.
Yeah, but I mean, like, like even as an adult, like once I started going out or whatever, like I would come home and I would still be by myself, and I would be watching like concert DVDs or like Lord of the Rings. Like I was big on like going out and getting drunk, coming home and watching Lord of the Rings.
So I was of a vice that it kind of lends itself more to a communal.
Yeah.
Fucking like, especially after
being up at night.
Yeah. Like, okay, like we're not like people. So like, we're done with the going out part. Let's go relax and like chill out and watch a movie. And like there'd be like 2 or 3 of us.
A lot of my childhood was spent like renting movies instead of like watching a lot of old classics. And like rewatching. So for me, it was a lot of that like first experience. So watching, whatever like the newest kind of horror movie coming out on VHS was, or first getting into DVDs. I think the first DVD that I rented ever was Super Troopers.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I don't remember the first one I ever rented. The first one I ever bought was Fight Club, though.
You know what? I think that's probably the same for a lot of people, because like
there was a really awesome version of it that came. It might have been came out like right after it was in the movie theater. I think that's why that's like a lot of people's like first.
Yeah.
Because it had. I remember at the time it was mind blowing that it had 2 hours of extras and like
shit
like documentaries.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was definitely like I was one of those kids where like I would pretty much every time I went to rent a movie, it was a horror movie or an action movie.
Yeah. See, like a lot of what I watched like when I was younger was probably because of my dad. Like, that's just like, he wasn't really involved. Dad, he watched a lot of TV. Like, like when his friends like came out, because like he didn't have like friends. He did have friends who would come by, but when he had friends come by, it'd be like his childhood friends, like people who would be staying at the house. Like, people he'd known since he was a kid. So like everybody would just kind of hang out and watch movies, and I just remember like, I'm going to hang out with the older like guys. Like it's what we did. Yeah. So a lot of these movies are like I saw like during those times. So that's probably why they're also burned into my memory.
That's definitely possible. Yeah. Like for me, it was like I started watching horror movies like really young. Yeah. So those are really what stuck with me. But
it was always like it's like watching like horror movies, action movies, like don't tell your mom you're watching this.
Like, but I mentioned this in our Hellraiser episode. Mm-hmm. Hellraiser was the first horror movie that I ever remember seeing, and I was 4 years old, which I mean it's pretty fucking twisted if you stop and think about it. Yeah. But like it was because my dad had rented it, and then I watched it while he was sleeping. Like that kind of like I'm gonna be a sneaky kid and watch a thing I know I'm not supposed to be watching. Yeah. And maybe that's kind of the catalyst that like started it for me, because like I knew I kind of wasn't supposed to be watching it, so that whole genre of movie just kind of stuck with me. Like I'm not supposed to be seeing this kind of thing. Yeah. But those are always what I clung to for my own viewing. And my grandfather, who I rented a shit ton of movies with, loved like cheesy action flicks too. Like he was a Van Damme guy, he was a Seagal guy, nice. Clint Eastwood guy. So I've got that whole back catalog, along with all the westerns and the horror movies that I wanted to watch. So it was basically like this hodgepodge of like shit that my family likes and shit that just I like. Yeah. So it was like the horror movies were for me. I would watch the action movies with everybody and the comedy movies with everybody, but when it came to the horror stuff, it was like nobody else really gave a shit. Yeah. So like that was my time.
All right. I'm really trying to think, because it was, for me, it was mostly like it was a good mix. I will say that, because it wasn't really mostly one type of movies, but it was like popular stuff. It was a lot of like action, cop movies, and like I said, horror movies thrown in too. Yeah. But my dad wasn't really like a huge horror guy, but he every now and again he'd watch something.
Yeah, my dad. I know my dad likes and liked horror movies at the time, so like he would rent movies every once in a while, and it was like I think we rented Dawn of the Dead at one point, and he was like, "You're gonna get the shit scared out of you watching this movie." And
I
was
remember
like,
actually,
and I was like, "Awesome!" And he was like,
specifically the cover of that movie when I was a kid. My parents rented that. I couldn't have been more than like 4, maybe.
"Yeah,
Or, maybe 5 at the oldest.
yeah,
And they rented that movie. And I remember seeing the box on our table in the living room, like, what the fuck is this? This
Yeah.
looks terrifying.
the cover was great
Because it was the cover of the dude, the one guy, the one military guy, like turning into a zombie, like slowly,
Yeah,
like when he's laying in bed, and like there's the shot of him like opening his eyes and he's a zombie,
yeah,
and it's like a slow like transformation.
yep,
The cover was anyway. It was like 3 stages of him, and I just remember like being like I need to see this. Like, nope, you can't watch that. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah." Like I didn't see any like real like underground kind of horror until I was an adult and I was able to find it myself.
That was specifically why I watched Dawn of the Dead. Like, I think maybe as soon as I was old enough to buy myself a copy of it, like,
Yeah,
I was like, I remember this. I fucking still need to see this movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. Like that, I don't know. It's just like the catalyst for me wanting to watch like more extreme kind of shit.
Yeah.
This is like because I knew people around me were kind of into it, which got me into it, and then I was like off and running by the time I was able to buy my own stuff. So I was like, I bought the complete collection of the guinea pig movies at one point. I was into like Salo, 120 Days of Sodom, like that kind of like extreme shit. Like at this point, it's not that extreme, but when I was finding it, it was before you could just like at a whim get whatever the fuck you wanted. Like, we had to hunt for it.
Yeah.
Like,
I hunting video stores for fucking movies. And shit like that. Yeah.
You would have to go to like conventions and shit to find that underground shit that nobody else had. So it was like, I kind of miss that.
Yeah, I do miss that. Like, I mean, on the one hand,
I love the convenience of just finding something online.
Yeah, I love that. Just like, oh fuck, I want to watch this. Oh, I'll do it right now. Bam, it's right there.
Yeah.
But like, there is something to be said about the hunt. Like,
yeah, it's not special anymore.
Yeah, like I've been looking for this forever. Like, I want to watch this, and then like, more often than not, being like, oh, that was worth it. Like, I really like that.
Yeah.
But every now and again, you finally get your hands on that movie that you've been dying to watch, and it fucking blows.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a fairly recent experience with that with Tetsuo, the Iron Man.
Oh yeah, I've kind of wanted to watch that. I've never seen it.
Like, that's one of those ones where I'm glad I didn't wind up buying it for like $35 or $40 fucking dollars, which was the price of it when I was looking at it. But I don't know, maybe if I had that like monetary expense, I would have tried to appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But since I streamed it online, I was like, nah.
I wish I still had my VHS collection. There were more than one movie in there that I'd like. This is back when I would belong like Columbia House, like movie like collection,
Yeah.
Like I would just like, well, I am never watching this piece of shit again. I now own it. Like,
yep. Yeah, but that was what happened when you spent like $30 to $50 fucking dollars on a VHS tape. Yeah. You had to like it.
Like, I owed those fuckers money for years.
Fuck them. Fucking vultures. All right, I think we've rambled quite enough.
Yeah, we're over 2 hours.
We are well over 2 hours. We'll try to cut this shit down to maybe an hour and a half. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some good time we can edit out of here.
We'll see what we can do. But yeah, guys, if you want to email us at bigdumbmonsters@gmail.com. Throw us a movie that we could watch, or a beer that you want us to try, or tell us we suck. I don't care. Whatever. You can do that. You can find the show at www.bigdumbmonsterspodcast.com. You can find it on Spotify, which has show ratings now.
Yes, rate us on Spotify.
So there's that. There's our YouTube channel.
Yes, definitely check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Like us there.
Yep.
We are just Big Dumb Monsters. You get a slideshow version of the podcast every week.
And if you want to tweet at us, we are at dumb_monsters. You can find us on Facebook. We are Big Dumb Monsters Pod. And if you are a slasher subscriber, that's the all horror social media. We are Big Dumb Monsters Podcast. So there are a plethora of ways you can find us. Listen to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever. If you want to throw us a rating and a review anywhere, we much appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Great reviews and great ratings let other people know that they can find the show and that it's worth listening to. But with that, we're gonna get out of here.
I will say thank you to new people who've joined us recently, because we definitely do have some new listeners. So
we've had an influx over the holidays, and we really appreciate anybody taking the time to listen to our show. It means a lot to us. It's just two assholes in a garage talking about monster movies. So we are gonna say good night, adieu.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Don't let ghoulies eat your ass.
No, definitely.
And good night.